We are talking about learning and what the teacher wants, or how the teacher wants us to be self-directing. In this section, we talk about adult students and how this is a growing population in higher education classrooms, like college classrooms, as the workplace demands for college degrees and other qualifications. This has been on the increase in the past couple of years. So all of these adults are finding themselves insufficiently prepared for these jobs that they're wanting. So these students are coming from completely different perspectives, we're finding, though, in these classrooms. And as far as they're looking to directly implement what they're learning in the classroom to the families and relationships they have now. Whereas us younger students, us 20-somethings, are kind of more willing to ponder topics and discussions about future relationships, more kind of philosophical. And so their learning goals are real life oriented rather than kind of reflective like ours might be. But the question that we're asking, or that's posed, is are universities and education systems ready for these students? Kegan says that perhaps they're not. Assimilation for these students requires a sort of changing of the party, a complete change or revamp of the curriculum, not just expecting them to catch up, but reworking or tailoring the system to meet the adult learners' needs, because our universities are not equipped yet, or might not be equipped even in the future, to directly give them what they're seeking, this kind of practical, real life, right now skills from this education. So we're left asking if the reworking of our education system to address the needs of these adult learners, is it worth the loss of the kind of liberated mind and the growth from the student in favor of these practical adult needs? Is it worth changing it? Are we going to lose some of the quality of education that we know now by embracing these other needs? Kegan says that the happy medium or answer to this dilemma is self-directed learning. And this is described as someone, or as those who can separate themselves, their culture, in order to understand how to separate what they feel from what they should feel. People who are self-directed learners can think critically. They're able to initiate themselves to go and do, and they see themselves as co-creators or contributors to the culture that has shaped them so far. These people can set goals without help or direct guidance from others. They can utilize the resources around them responsibly. They're willing to be responsible, and they can manage themselves effectively and evaluate and critique themselves fairly. So these adult learners are being asked to change their understandings of themselves, to become these self-directed learners, and have this kind of self-authority. But this entails kind of questioning the relationships and loyalties that they have held on to so far in their life. But so they're being asked to transition from third order consciousness into fourth order consciousness. And we brought up an important difference between third and fourth order consciousness. And that is that the reflective consciousness versus critical consciousness. So while third order doesn't have the ability to look back on its inferences and critically evaluate them, and then turn it into a self-generated opinion, fourth order has the ability to critically evaluate and make that and create an opinion for itself. Higher education is now and will fail adult learners if it assumes that they're coming into these classrooms and these education systems already with this consciousness of the higher curriculum of culture that requires this fourth order of consciousness. So the attempt to train adults will be hopeless. The focus should be to educate them on the order of consciousness that will then bring them desired educational success, and making them able to be self-directed learners and allow their practical goals to be achieved. So the mission is to support the fourth order of consciousness, basically to encourage that and to educate them on how to achieve that. The structures of our mind is agreement and consensus. We take in symbols and agree that they do mean something, and that they are important to us. And that's how we've arrived at that through socialization. While third order consciousness is evidence that one is capable of joining a community and participating, accepting the thoughts and ideas that the majority of people have agreed are safe and true and virtuous. This culmination of adolescence means that one isn't needing to be watched over anymore, that this person can reflect on socialization and how it came to accept and become these traits. But fourth order consciousness comes when that person can take the step further and have the capacity to critically evaluate the process or the implications of socialization. Not just understand it, but understand why. So students need to be responsible for their socialization. Third order consciousness does not prepare them for that. A teacher's job is to first foster the learning and education of socialization and fourth order consciousness, and then when appropriate, step back and allow the socialization to help these people self-generate and let the students self-direct. Let them be fourth order conscious students.